Hi, thank you so much for joining us today. In this special bonus training, I am going to walk you through something I call a media map. I'm going to be sharing my screen here in a hot second, but the purpose of a media map is to make sure that the whole information, everything you need for a successful, stress-free campaign launch, programmatic ad campaign launch, everything you need for it needs to be housed within one document or one folder. It has to be super easy for you to answer questions like, what are we doing for this client? What's the message? What's the targeting, like the audience? And what are the KPIs, which can be different than the objectives. So we'll review this right now as I share my screen. So a media map is, I'm sharing my screen right now, and I'm going to walk you through each of those tabs. For the next 4 or 5 minutes, I'll walk you through why it's important. But just know that this is a template and that you're more than welcome to adjust based on what your clients need, right? Based on what you need. And so therefore, the first tab is the general information. Basically, who is involved in this account and what it is. And so you'll find names like client, geo-targeting, client industry, which is kind of important because if your client is servicing, is in the e-commerce, right, then it'll be here, or retail media. If it's servicing B2B, then it will say here. And this is just extra information so that anyone on the team can log in and look at, okay? And so the next point is some of these are contract summary, the insertion order details. Have they signed? Have they paid? If the trader or the programmatic director is not involved at the sales, it's important that they know that it's good to go. Is that a process that is handled here or via email? If any of this is handled via email, you need to move into a media map. And then the reference link is for, again, it's just to make it as efficient as possible, y'all. Like if there's a strategy brief, also known as media plan, let's say media plan, or sometime I've heard sales pitch deck, whatever. Whatever was sold to the client, whatever the client saw, this is what I mean. Like the link should be here so that anybody can come and be like, yo, is this correct? Okay. Oh, the media plan final presentation is over here. Never mind. Thank you. Another really important thing is that I often join a meeting where they all say something like, oh, well, we don't know who the operation manager is, who's the trader is, who's the salesperson, who's the point of contact, what are their name even, and that's a problem. Everyone on the team touching this account should know everything about everybody, okay? So that's a serious problem. I need y'all to fix it. And it's as easy as putting Ellen Parker's name, my name, my email address, phone number, if it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, then you can remove it. It doesn't matter, right? Phone number is only, it depends on how your team is built. But if it's just email, then that's absolutely fine. What I also like is that over here, if you don't have an operation manager, you can also put the title of the contact. So for me, it would be director of media, Ellen Parker. Point of client side, account manager, Jane Doe, things like that. Moving on fairly fast here, tactic summary. This is just a recap of everything we're doing for the clients. And this is a good summary, not in detail. So you're doing a summary here of everything, all channels. So let's say if you're running linear, OTT in Trade Desk, linear somewhere else, digital out of home via Vistar. If you're doing some search and Meta or some TikTok, then you should have one line item for each of those channels. But also what this creates is a holistic view of the account. Again, just because I'm the trader, it doesn't mean that I need to know exactly what's happening on the social side, but knowing that they're running social can help make some decision in the future. And then last thing on this tab is the reporting. Are we running reporting? Did the client ask for a dashboard that we will be creating, excuse me? Did the client just ask for a PowerPoint? Are we just sending things in Excel? Do they just want the raw sheet? That is super important. That is super important to know at the beginning of the launch. And this is just a shortcut to if you do keep all of those, then you can just click directly and then get moved to that one. So that it's just making it more efficient. So we're going to go back into general information. So the general information is basically everything. Who should fill this up? The project manager, the lead. So not the trader, the ad ops person, but whoever is on the account management side, the project management side, sometimes even the director of that team should be filling this out. Or you can tag team. Since sales was involved, they'll probably be able to fill out a bunch of the first tabs, and then whoever by channel, you can fill out the other tab. This budget tab was created when I worked for this one agency that operated a lot, that serviced a lot of auto. And as if you don't know, auto is very flexible, which means that some months are higher than others, and some months you have to move the budget, some months you have to spend the budget. And so gross versus net is that maybe on the media plan, the number that's sold to the client is not the number that we're going to spend, because we have to put our margin in, what we get paid, put any data fee or ad tech fee aside. And so this is what you should see as a net. And then the actual spend is just, this is more like an archaic way to track your spend, because now DSPs offer the opportunity to send reports. But just in case, this sheet is here. Media details is exactly what it is. I've had companies separate the media, so have a tab for each media. And I've had other companies have it all under one. And so this media is this media detail tab is literally just that. Like, what are we running? How long we're running? If there's information that is shared across the media, then this is what the overall thing, the overall part is. But if not, it's PPC specific. It's display specific. Obviously, I don't have OTT here. Is it OTT specific? And it's very detailed. Obviously, YouTube is not considered display. Facebook is not considered display, but sometimes that relates to what we're trying to do. Conversion tracking is this one part of the media map that is actually really important, but also underrated. We don't take the time of creating this. I would say that this tab is solely to help us understand what is our main KPI, what action on the website do we need to optimize off of. That would be the primary goal. And the secondary goal would be any other action that could influence our primary goal, or that could influence for a strategy upsell. If our primary goal is just site visit, right? So I'll put site visit here, optimize to it, yes. And then our secondary goal is contact us form submission. But if contact us form submission is tracking higher than the site visit, let's say, then maybe we can go back and say, hey, we should increase budget so that we have a strategy specifically to contact us. And from that strategy, we can make retargeting modeling, we can do predictive modeling, can do all this stuff. So this is what this page is about. It's letting the trader know, letting anybody, any buyer on this account, including the account management team, like refreshing their memories, that these specific points of conversions are really important in our measurement, but also the main thing is this, okay? And this is basically, if we're running a Google Tag Manager. So for this particular instance, the agency that I was working for was also creating things like Google Tag Manager, or even like creating the GA, the client's GA, Google Analytics. And so they would just enter the ID right here. And if there was any tracking vendor, then they will say, we are tracking calls via call rail or stuff like that. Okay. So tactic changes is can probably be looked at similarly to budget. This is just almost like an example. This is less common to be used these days, because again, you can track via media plan. But if you don't have a media plan, then this is where you will come enter. Like, we originally sold this. After 2 months, we made a revision to transfer budget from Vistar into Facebook because it was underperforming, or the client decided to cut out TikTok, and so all this budget went to Programmatic. Revision 2, which would be third time changing, the client was extremely happy with our performance, so therefore they increased the budget by 10% or whatever. So now it looks like this. So this is just to track some of this budget, because very, 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 very often I come across a situation where we don't know if this is the final version, if this is the revised version, if this is the original version, because one, our naming convention lacked, right? The taxonomy is wrong. And we don't know. We don't have any easy tracking system outside of email. So this could be very, very effective. Now you're probably thinking like, yo, this is going to take us a lot of time to set up. Yes, originally, if you do an internal kickoff call as soon as the client signs, as soon as the invoice is paid, the way you let the team know is, one, you put it in a project management tool and say, here's everything you need to know. Let's schedule our 30 minutes kickoff call. During our 30 minutes kickoff call, prior to that, the media director and the account management team will fill out this document. And during the kickoff call, that's when you review this information, you adjust, and then you go and be merry. But that is almost like, excuse my French, but this is almost like the Bible of the account. Every changes that's happening goes within here. Okay, so now the additional tabs I've created with my team when I was leading a team, I would ask them to track any of their QA within the media map. But for you, the QA might be separated as long as it's close enough within that client's folder, within their own folder called QAing, and that there's a sheet like this where you can walk through every single one of them and say yes, no, yes, no. And the beauty of a QA sheet is that you need to QA a day before turning on the campaign. It doesn't have to be a day, just before turning on the campaign. My recommendation is that you QA your own work first and then have somebody QA after you. You do not turn on a campaign if somebody else have not QA'd. It's almost more important that that second person, that second pair of eyeballs, QA your own work. The reason why I encourage you to QA your own work first is just because maybe you'll catch something, right? And so you want to make it as efficient as possible for the other person. So QA your own work, have a second person QA the work, connect with that QA buddy to discuss if there's any nuances, and then you launch. And then in the 24-hour post QA launch, which is another QA sheet, I have some instructions here, but it's basically just, did the QA, when was the QA completed? QA Ninja name is myself, or all tactics live. So all ad groups, ad set, line items, you name it, live. Yes, you put yes. Confirmation screenshot is a link where you should send to your client to let them know that and confirm that we're good to go. Okay. And then finally, actually to the final, the reporting is basically, you see that there's no reporting. Please don't add reporting in this media map. Don't. What I want you to do instead is have, maybe if it's not called reporting, but have like a, what is it called? Like it's not a glossary, but like a tab where all the important links could be added. Reporting should be in there. So reporting is basically a link or a folder where the person could click to go see all of the reports that were created for this particular client. And if you're not doing PowerPoint, so obviously you might not be able to have a folder. Maybe it's a link directly to the Tableau dashboard or Domo dashboard. And finally, optimization log is probably really the most important thing. And again, I've had optimization inside a media map before, and I've had it separated from the media map for many reasons, but whatever works for the dynamic of your team. But optimization log is basically every time I look at the performance and I make a change, I should log it. That's what it means. Every time there's a new strategy, new tactic starting or ending, I should just record it really quick all into this document. Because if somebody wants $1 million or $1 million of that currency that you're living in, and they decide to disappear because they bought an island, as they should, and took their whole family to live there, live off of coconut and water and whatever it is, then we should be able to look at the campaign and look at this optimization log and say, oh, wow, Ellen is now a billionaire, so we won't be hearing from her anytime soon. And pretty much she changed her numbers at this point. But at least the last time she touched this campaign was 2 days ago, and these are the changes she made. So this is what optimization log is. And also, if you're a trader and you don't have this, it don't have to be complicated. See, this is Excel, don't have to be sexy. You need to track who made the changes, when the changes were made, the campaign, and then the ad group, because an optimization should be done at the ad group. And then the optimization is literally the change. And then the note is if you want to remember something, like for instance, it would be Elena, what day is it? 7/18/20, oh, excuse me, 7/18/2024. Campaign is reach and frequency August program, right? So like we're gonna start another reach and frequency next program. And then one of the ad group is targeting ad agencies, traders. So that, let's say that's that. Ideally, this should be copy pasted from the platform. So like if I'm running in a Delphic or if I'm running an AdLib, I will copy paste the name that I have in AdLib in here. Okay, so that is so it's easily, like you can go back and track it fairly easily. So this would be a link. This would also be a link. And then my optimization would be excluded underperforming sites from ad group, and the note would be removed these sites. So let's say you have a separate sheet, a notepad or separate sheet where you layer out. Okay, so like you have a Word document where you're just typing, you're brainstorming everything into one. And so remove these sites and you'll insert a link, right? And then say, because it average, let's say $5 CPA when goal is $3 CPA for TD1, right? TC1, total conversion 1, let's say. So that's the difference between the optimization. And yes, I do agree that you might have to have another document to really layer out everything, because this is very much just like the recap. Okay, so this is it. I hope this was helpful. Please make sure to schedule a free consultation with both of the parties, and I'll see you next week.